If you're trying to lose body weight and you want to shred off excess body fat, you're going to go through a process that us fitness experts like to call a fat loss phase. And being a fitness professional myself, coaching over 800 people in the last 5 years to incredible transformations, I'm going to be explaining the top 5 mistakes that I see most individuals make in a fat loss phase and how you can avoid them so that you can see success along your whole journey. If you don't know me by now, my name is Adrian Stover and I'm the founder of Ascend Coaching, where we have helped over 800 people achieve some mind-blowing transformations and take their fitness to the next level through our process that we like to call metabolic priming. We focus on extreme fat loss and contest prep and bodybuilding, and we've helped some clients lose over even 50 to 60 pounds in just a matter of 16 weeks. And the fact is that you can do it too, as long as you avoid these 5 mistakes. Let's break down our first mistake: eating too low of calories. We all know that in order to lose fat that you need to be in a caloric deficit, which basically means that you need to eat less calories than your body is burning. And so each of us have a very unique maintenance calories that we all need to consume to be able to maintain our body weight. And where most individuals fail is they take their maintenance calories, let's just say it's 2,500 or so, and they start their fat loss journey at a crazy significant number below that, essentially beginning their fat loss journey starting at 1,800 or 2,000 calories. And while theoretically this should put you in a caloric deficit and you should lose weight, you can't lose weight forever. Your body's job is to maintain homeostasis. And if you stay in a caloric deficit for too long or at a very low amount of calories, you will lose weight, but not to infinity. Your body will eventually level out and plateau. That's because your body's gonna recognize the calories that it's eating and it's gonna adjust its metabolism to be that new maintenance. So if your maintenance calories is hypothetically 2,500 and you eat 1,800 calories for 3 months, once you stop losing weight at that 1,800 calorie mark, you can likely assume that your metabolism has now adjusted, and then that new number of 1,800 calories is probably closer to be your maintenance. So instead of starting off your calories so low and eating too few of calories, which will likely just have you plateau in the future, it's vitally important that you start your fat loss journey off at a high number of calories. The reason you want to do this is because it gives you a high number that you can come down from. Because in a fat loss journey, you have to constantly update your program. You can't just follow the same program and expect to see results over the long term. And so before you even begin your fat loss journey, focus on eating more food and maintaining your body weight. And once you feel like you've gotten to a healthy number where you can maintain your body weight well, and you're not feel like you're crash dieting or starving yourself, then you begin your fat loss journey at a high number of calories. This is going to allow you to lose fat over a longer period of time and not have to crash diet throughout that whole process and eventually plateau. The second most common mistake that I see is too much training. I get it. A lot of us want to lose body fat and do it in the fastest way possible, and we can easily think that more is better. But the one thing that you may be failing to realize is that your rest and recovery is actually going to give you more results than just always doing more. So if you're an individual that likes to go to the gym 6 days a week, then you got to understand that every time you train, you're actually breaking down your muscle fibers. And it takes time for those muscle fibers to repair and recover so that you can build more muscle, continue to grow, and actually recover well after each training session. And so while 6 days a week of training is not terrible, the best results that I've seen is by actually training 5 days a week in the gym. And I can promise you that training 5 days a week in the gym and giving your body the 2 rest days that it needs, your body will thank you. And you'll probably actually lose weight easier along this whole process because you're not inducing your body with constant inflammation all the time. Now, if you don't have 5 days a week to train in the gym, then that's totally fine. So what I recommend is getting in the gym at least 4 days a week to see the fastest results, with a 5-day-a-week training split to be the most optimal for the fastest results. Unless you can recover extremely well, 6 days a week is typically just too much. The third most common mistake I see is doing way too much cardio. While cardio is great for your heart health, what cardio actually does is it burns calories in the form of carbohydrates. We use carbohydrates as quick sources of energy. So you're on the treadmill walking, doing the Stairmaster, doing the elliptical, or even going on a jog. Your body is using the carbohydrates that you've consumed previously for those sources of energy. Now, along with heart health, the reason why we do cardio in a fat loss phase is to burn more calories. And so cardio should be used as a tool, not a crutch in a fat loss phase. What cardio can do is it can help you burn more calories so that you can eat a little bit more food, not feel like you're starving, and keep yourself in a caloric deficit so you continue to lose weight over time. And the important thing to know about this is that you want to slowly increase things over time. It's the same thing with eating too low of food. If you jump into a fat loss phase and you're saying, I'm gonna start out with an hour of cardio a day, and you've done nothing previously to that, then yes, you're gonna see results. But again, you cannot increase increase cardio to infinity. You're eventually going to plateau, and when you're doing a lot of cardio, you're not eating very much food, what are you gonna do from there? Nothing, you're stuck. So now that you understand what cardio actually does, when you start implementing cardio into your fat loss phase, start small and slowly work up from there week by week. A general recommendation is you wanna be losing at least 2 to 3 pounds of body weight a week if you're in an intense fat loss phase. And so if you see your body weight plateau for a couple weeks while you're doing the same cardio regimen and you're eating the same food, then it's probably a cue to change it up by either adding in slightly more cardio or taking out slightly more food. And that should keep you pushing along the process, that way you don't plateau and keep seeing results. The next most common mistake I see is actually food selection. Now, there's been a big saying going around for a long time, and that's calories in equals calories out. Basically meaning as long as you're eating in a caloric deficit, you'll lose weight. And while theoretically that's correct to a sense, what I want you to understand is that not all macros are equal. For example, we plan a macro diet, we want to make sure we're getting our carbs, fats, and proteins. But if you consume candy as your primary source of carbohydrates throughout your days, I think we can both agree that you're probably not going to look the way that you want to look, even if you're staying in a caloric deficit. So it's important while you're on a journey and either following macros or following a meal plan to be comprising your food selections of primarily whole foods. And there's supplements that you can add into this, like protein powder for an example, but it shouldn't be a crutch for you. It should just be a tool if you're not hitting the macros that you need to be. But you should always make it your mission to get your sources of foods from whole food and high quality food. And making that simple change will probably change your look drastically and allow you to lose weight at a much more efficient pace. The last common mistake that I see in any kind of fat loss journey is actually your goal setting. And while you may have a goal to lose X amount of weight or drop X amount of pounds, it's important to actually give yourself a time frame with that. If you're 200 pounds and your goal is to get down to 180 pounds and you just say I want to do this by sometime and you don't give yourself a clear time frame to get that done, then it allows you to be lackadaisical on your diet and in your training because you don't have a clear end date of when you need to accomplish that. And so for any fat loss phase, whether you want to lose 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, you want to give yourself actual time frame goals on when you should achieve those numbers by. That's going to help you stay accountable throughout the whole program and ensure that you constantly see results over time. I hope this video helped you understand the most 5 common mistakes that I see in a fat loss journey and how you can fix them for yourself so that you don't plateau along your journey and you constantly see progress. If you need more one-on-one help, you can follow me here on Instagram where I constantly provide tons of tips on how to actually do this for yourself in the future. And if you would like some more one-on-one direct help, then you can head to the Ascend coaching inquiry form in the description, fill out your information, and I will personally reach out to you so we can set up a phone call, talk about what you're doing right now, build you out a strategy to get from A to B in the most simple and sustainable way possible, and I'll tell you how I can help you. If you like this video, then make sure that you like and subscribe for some more high-level fitness educational content. And if you want to see me working in depth with some of our top athletes at a bodybuilding competition, then click the video up here. See you in the next one.